Can I dream for a minute, yo? Can I dream? Can I dream for a minute, yo? Can I dream? Can I dream for a minute? Can I wait that G4? Feed off the semen, receive with that red carpet treatment. Raw fish, caviar and crackers at the Ritz. Can I dream for a minute, shit? How about a meal worth of chips? I think it's like.
This is Josef Samael from Contra Unit, and you're watching the Urban Wrestling Network.
I'm from the island, man.
Man, I used to live in Puerto Rico.
Thank you.
See, no excuses. No excuses.
He understands.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Dandada. I'm here with none other than Bill Vink and also Eva Lonce. Those two bozos get no love. But what I will let them do is I will let you, don't make a face, introduce the greatest man that we've ever had on the podcast. Please introduce that man and say his name right.
I'm not evil on that. I don't get it wrong. Anyway, this man is the 84th man to ever hold the 10 pounds of gold. He's a former N.W.A. World Heavyweight Champion, and he's the voice and leader of the Contra Unit, ladies and gentlemen. Josef Samael, how are you, man?
Oh, man, I'm good. How you guys doing today? What's up? What's up?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yo, the beer's looking great. I'm not even going to lie.
Hold up. Stop kissing the ass already. Hold up.
No.
First,
I wanted some more. Stop some more.
First of all, I like to apologize to Mr. Samael because earlier I could call him some other shit.
Sam I.L. Come on, bro.
Samael. I got an accent.
Bro, it's Sam, an eyeball, and L like Sam I.L. If you gotta say it.
You know, I had to make a new logo because of you, man. I had to make a new logo with an eyeball because you're spreading the word that it's wrong with Samuel and it's starting to catch on, man.
Yeah, man. So I want to apologize because I do not want any contract unit hoodlums coming out after me trying to break my leg.
Listen,
I got people watching your house. I got your mother's name tattooed on my arm.
So I apologize right now, man. I don't want no problems.
So you got the first question?
I got the first question. I was really curious. You were, as I mentioned earlier, you were the 84th man to ever hold the N.W.A. World Title. How did that come about, and how was that reign for you too?
What was the second part of it? How was it? What?
And how was the reign for you?
It came about. I was in Florida at the time, and I was in a tag team for a long time, and then I started off doing this new gimmick as the Sheik, and it started picking up a lot of steam. Even back then, this was like I was the N.W.A. World Heavyweight Champion 10 years ago now. It was just this past April was 10 years, so it was quite a ways, quite a while ago. But even back then, there wasn't a lot of heels. Like everybody. It kind of hit like the late 90s or the early 2000s where everybody just wanted to get pops. And I was always a heel, and I always relished in that. And I was from Florida, so Florida Championship Wrestling, and then Puerto Rico Wrestling, and, the Bruiser Brodies and the Kevin Sullivans. And so I always really was, I was a heel wrestler through and through. So the N.W.A. had this guy in the Midwest by the name of Ed Schumann, and he found me, and he was really, really high on me. He loved the fact that I was so old school. He loved the fact that I could talk. He loved the fact that I could work. So he brought me into the N.W.A. through his license, and then I won the Florida Championship, and then I won the Midwest Championship, and then I won the North American title, and then I won the world title. So I did it in like a working class fashion. I went from the state to the regional to the intercontinental to the world, and it was cool, man. I mean, it was I wish it was 1978 when I won it. I wish it was fighting against guys like Harley Race and Dusty Rhodes and all that, the N.W.A. I grew up with. But, it's nice to have my name in the history books and to be even in the same on the same page as those guys, you know, because those are my idols, and those guys are the reason why I got into wrestling. The reign was, you know, it was pretty good. I went to, you know, Japan multiple times, Australia, all around the States and stuff. You never think it's long enough, you know. You want to have a longer time, you want to have multiple reigns, you want to do a lot of certain things, but you know, unfortunately, sometimes things aren't your idea of what you'd like to have, and what somebody else's idea for you is different. So, you know, I'm very grateful to be part of that, you know, that lineage. And I had a good time doing it, and it's one of my career high points for sure. The real cool thing about the N.W.A. championship was it enabled me to wrestle Yoji Sai in the main event for the 0-1 World Championship. So I wrestled in Korakuen Hall, which was, you know, where Brody and you know, Dynamite Kid and Tiger Mask and all these guys, you know, wrestled in, and I got to wrestle in the main event there and win the title versus title match. So that was the career highlight for me for the N.W.A. title run.
Wow.
My question is how did you treat Charlotte when you had her in your hands for that long? I just want to know, how did you treat Charlotte? Did you treat her with respect? Did you love her? Did you shine her up?
Man. I abused her. Yeah, boy.
That's she's
many
old
nights
fashioned.
of alcohol and the good cocaine.
She's an old fashioned woman. You know,
Listen,
she's from the Carolinas, man. You gotta treat her with respect and love her.
Yeah.
In
the light you treat them with respect, but in the dark they don't like that. That's how you keep them. You gotta treat it.
Listen, every woman wants a bad boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm trying to get canceled today. I'm trying.
Hey, that's Charlotte, man. She has lineage from the Carolinas.
Listen, don't be emo because he says against your N.W.A. Listen, you're this close to being put in a body bag. You need to calm down.
Hey, man.
Speaking about body bags, I want to get to
You're being greedy. But go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead. I know. It's go ahead. Go ahead. You're being greedy. Go ahead.
Well, I want to talk about the inception, like the idea for Contra, and how did that go about for you?
Wow, so my answer.
So you know, I was the almighty Sheik for a long time, and this is basically a progression of that character. It was really difficult to be a foreign character, especially when I like to talk in front of the microphone. So, you know, we're talking deep acting, you know, with this sort of thing. Contra is a much better fit for me. It's me. It's more me than anything I've ever done. But the concept was given to me through MLW, and it was pitched to us. Me and Fatu were zipping around the country and working as a team called War Beast at the time. And we were basically scouted and you know, picked for this. It's almost like if you're a director and you've got this movie and you only see these people playing this specific role, and then you end up getting the people for that role, you know. So it was something like that, and I couldn't be more happier because the direction of it shows that they understand us. You know, the direction of it shows that, you know, they're not trying to turn us into something, you know, and make us into something that's not a natural fit. You know, Contra Unit, everything that happened and everything that was proposed and everything that came to fruition, I was just glazed eyed, just let's do it, man. Like it was all just right up my alley. I'm a booker as well. I had a company, I currently still have it, but the pandemic wrecked it, called PCW Ultra, and I'm a heel booker, so I book heat, man, and to be in the similar mindset is really good for creative you know, for you know, good creative stories and all that. So yeah, so I'm in the right place with that. But yeah, Contra was the short answer is it was brought to us and we dug it and we were like, yeah, let's hit the ground. Let's go throw this ball for a touchdown, you know?
Now you mentioned your name originally was the Sheik before.
Yeah.
And any wrestling fans will all know that there was an original Sheik.
That's
back
correct.
in the days, 60s, 70s, 80s, and he was like Sabu's like mentor or whatever.
Yeah, he's Sabu's uncle in the Detroit area, yeah.
Okay. Were you able to talk to him regarding the name to take it under your wing, or?
Well, so I'm old school, so everything with me is built on respect, right? But when I came in as the Sheik, the original Sheik had already passed away. But Sabu is a friend. So I had been with Sabu in Puerto Rico and I had been with Sabu here and there. So I was getting ready to, like, I was just kind of like a comedian goes to a club and he starts throwing jokes out there and he's trying to hone his act, you know, for his next special. I did the Sheik gimmick like maybe 2 times and I was just trying to kind of figure it out, you know, and I ran into Sabu, and before I had, you know, nobody saw it yet. You know, I hadn't had any steam. I was just kind of testing out to see if I wanted to do it. So I went to Sabu and I asked him, hey, man, you know, is this cool if I do something like this? You know, I want to do it this way. I want to call it this. I don't want to call it just the Sheik. And he was like, no, do what you did, man. Call it the Sheik. Do it. Yeah, you got my blessing. It's cool. So I ended up using the Almighty Sheik. Just because it sounded more arrogant, it pissed people off more. It pissed Muslim people off. It pissed, American people off. It pissed everyone off. So I just decided to tweak it a little bit, because whenever you get a character, even if it's like an iconic character that's played by multiple people, you want to make it your own. You know, you want to make it your own. And I felt like I had a lot of stuff from the Sheik and Abdullah the Butcher, that style, but I also had a lot of stuff from a lot of other places. And I was I think maybe even a more cerebral heel, like a Kevin Sullivan. So, and then that kind of, my skills just kept, you know, getting sharper and sharper as I started to run that gimmick, you know.
No, that's awesome.
Say something, bro.
No, I know. I'm trying. I got this kid stealing my stuff. He's my son. I gotta let him go. I got my big homie over here stealing my stuff. So I'm curious because I'm a faction guy. I'm a bad dude. I love heels. It's just how I grew up. You know, that's the way it is. But when you got guys like Mads Kruger, the Iranian super soldier Davari, Ikuro Kwon, Simon Gotch, and Jacob Fatu, who I keep saying I think is the best wrestler on the planet right now. And anybody can disagree. I don't care. It's how I feel. But
they'd be wrong.
Huh?
They would be wrong if they disagreed.
Yeah, facts. I mean, what he's doing right now is it's like his in-ring, and I'm trying to keep this with talk with you, but like his in-ring versus a small guy and his in-ring versus a big guy, it all looks believable, and he tells such a great story. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. I don't want a spot fest. I want to see a great match and have guys who have ring awareness and understand where positioning and everything else. But even with that, we've seen you guys have beefs with some other guys, you know, but now with Aztec Undergrounds, do you feel there's a pressure coming towards you guys because it's like a uncertainty? And it's like all of a sudden you have Salina de la Renta go missing. You know, you with everything that people are targeting, Aztec Underground, feeling like Lucha Underground. Is there any kind of, oh snap, we got to step our game up because they might be coming for us?
Well, I mean, you know, speaking from a business standpoint, you know, your game always has to be stepped up when you're dealing with the wrestlers that are as talented as the wrestlers on the MLW roster. I mean, any contracted guys that work TV, everybody's vying for everybody's spot. Yeah. And Contra unit, you know, what you could say whatever you want, but we got the top spot in the company right now. So the target's on our back. The target's on our back, not only for people to get our spot, you know, even though everybody's friendly, this is business, you know, but also, you know, we got to keep producing. You know, we can't be sitting around, you know, resting on our laurels. We still got to keep coming. I got to keep coming with fire. I got to get back in the ring and come with fire. Fatu's got to keep coming with fire in the ring. You know, Fatu, I mean, just to touch on him real quick, there is nobody as explosive as Fatu. And we hone this. Now, he is naturally gifted athlete. I mean, then he goes through a dynasty of a family. So he's got it deep in his genes. Then he gets trained by Dave Heath Gangrel. He's in with his uncle Rikishi. Then he gets to me, and when I got him, he was just a piece of clay, man. He still had rough edges and this and that. So this cat he came to me, he was incredible, and he didn't have, you know, all the knowledge yet. Now he's got much more knowledge, and he's out of this world. 5 years from now, dude, this cat's gonna be around for a long time. And if you know, providing no injury or anything crazy happens, this guy's gonna rule the wrestling world. I mean, he is right now. He's the most. I mean, is there anybody else that you watch that you're as excited as you're watching him? I watch him from ringside, and he's popping me. You know what I mean? He's incredible. You know. Yeah. So I don't know where the question was, but I went on a big Fatu.
I agree because Jacob Fatu, he's just on a different level. But I also feel that the Iranian Super Soldier Daivari, and I love saying his name like that because I know Daivari from WWF and everything. Don't do that. You better put respect on his name. I swear to God. But like, even he feels like at this point of his career, he looks so much better, and he looks just so like prime. I'm ready. Simon Gott's another one. Ikuro Kwon. I love him. I can't wait for him to come back. He's another superstar beast. And Mads Kruger, I'm super high on. We got a small sample, but like, I can't wait to see more of this guy because he just seems like a straight wrecking ball. And as at this point, I don't think there's anybody in MLW that can withstand Contra units still.
And we're getting more stronger as time goes by, you know. So
there's one person in this one match that I'm waiting for, and Chev gonna hate me for saying this, but my boy Hammerstone.
He's a bum.
Whatever.
I love Hammerstone, but he can't match up with Contra units. Stop it.
Hammerstone against Fatu. I need it now. I can't wait till July. I need that match now. I need it like this week. And you guys are teasing with my emotions and just pulling my strings.
Well, I'm gonna burst your bubble right now because that match is never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So
okay. So
take that and just throw that away. That ain't never gonna happen. So
it's never gonna happen because you guys are scared of Hammerstone.
Oh, are you crazy?
Hey, I gotta ask questions. I gotta ask. He says it's not gonna happen. I gotta ask.
Maybe he's not on their level. He's not on their level.
Maybe I'm the one who's writing the story, and that's not the ending I want.
Oh, bam! There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. See, you got it
here.
I'm not claiming to be the booker. Don't think I'm not talking that way. I'm talking in the manipulations. I got a different ending to this story.
And I love it, but to touch on what he was saying, I feel like because they put those guys around you, you have an amazing gift when it comes to talking. I don't think a lot of people realize that. I think you're actually very underrated. Your talk ability is one of the first things that I loved about you. It was amazing. You got my attention, and when Daivari, the Iranian Super Soldier Daivari, let's be real here. I didn't really care when he was brought into you guys until you explained and you just basically put him on another platform. I feel like that's what you really do. It's not me trying to blow smoke or anything. I really feel like you've elevated Kwon, Kruger, Daivari, and even Fatu to different levels because the way you put them over, and in my opinion, it made your group more serious because you are believable.
Yeah.
So when you talk, people listen, and that's and that's one thing I think I've loved, and that's why I feel like you guys are taken so seriously is because of just when you're on a microphone. No one.
It doesn't
really
feel like a
touch you.
promo.
It's not. It doesn't feel like a promo. It felt like the whole public execution things when you went on that rant against Jordan Oliver. I was like, holy, what is he gonna have in store for this kid?
I love it. You know, it's we all have a job to do, and whenever you have a job to do, your ego can't get in the way of your job. You know, you have to do the best possible. I've been in the wrestling business for going on 23 years now. I've been able to be in the wrestling business for as long as I have, and I've been in the places that I've been, and I've been given the opportunities that I've been given because I understand the job. I understand what it means to bring people into that's what we're doing. That's all we're doing. We're trying to put asses in seats. So we have this artistry that we're able, and look, we're able to do this for a living. It's an amazing thing that we're able to do this for a living, but there's so many opportunities right now, and guys are so settled to the fact that, like, for instance, a guy that will walk in today and they'll get signed to a company or they'll get a bunch of matches and they'll get booked around the country. I broke in, that didn't happen. Like when I broke in, it was 1998, and if you wanted to get out of your state, you had to drive and beg, and you didn't get any money. And if you wanted to get on TV, you would have to do enhancement talent for WWE. You'd have to get on that list. And I mean, I went to Puerto Rico and worked on television. I saw where my opportunities were, and I was always pretty street smart, and I was always, I understood what was going on around me, and I had my bearings, and I was able to maneuver. And to be in Puerto Rico for as long as I was, to work with all the guys I got to work with all over Florida and Puerto Rico, and to be and Puerto Rico was the last territory. It was the final territory. I was able to go there and work 4 days a week and be on television. Our company was on television for 4 hours a week, and you just can't do that anymore. You can't. It's an experience that unfortunately it's gone now. You know, it's so to have all of that complete, all of those different ingredients. That's what makes this fantastic. You know, that's what makes this work. And I don't know. I went off on a tangent again. Sorry, guys.
You know, at one point, 20 years ago, you had WWE against WCW, and then we saw what happened, and then there was TNA and now we move forward. There's WWE, AEW, MLW, NWA is back, and stuff like that.
Well, it has a lot to do with the fact that cable TV is kind of fallen and all these platforms, and everybody needs content. So the wrestling business adapts. The wrestling business used the cable industry to spread it all over the world, and now it's the way technology is, and we have a cheaper form. It's a lot cheaper to produce a wrestling TV show than it is to produce Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean?
But my question is on that right there. No one can find no TV stuff, but you guys, MLW, are on Being Sports, and then jump into the Zone, which is like one of the biggest platforms for boxing and football, soccer. But now you guys are on Vice TV. You guys are able to jump and get different distribution and channels. But these other places are having problems getting that. What's the difference between you guys that are able to do that and these other companies that have been out there longer can't? What are they doing wrong that you guys are doing right?
Because Court Bauer has monster balls, and he's a bad motherfucker, and he goes out there and gets deals, and other companies sell their soul for nothing, and he spreads us, and he makes sure that we don't lose footing anywhere else, while everybody sells their soul for a spot on Fight or a spot on this or a spot on that, and then they're hidden and they're behind a paywall and nobody can see them, and their business goes down the toilet. And it's we have a real leader. We have an old school guy. We have a guy that gets the business, a guy that's a real booker, you know, and that makes a difference. That makes a difference. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on any other companies. I respect everybody in this business, but I'm on the right ship. I understand what this ship is and how, and I want to be a part of it. I've always been in wrestling where it's like, okay, I'll do that, or I'll do this, or this I want to be a part of, you know, and the people involved want to be a part of it. We believe in it, and that's what you need. It's like ECW. You need everybody to buy into it and to believe it and to want to go through a wall, you know, and it's really hard to juggle that, you know, as an owner, to keep everybody happy, especially when there's something shiny over here and something shiny over there and something shiny over there. Loyalty and professional wrestling, they don't mix, you know. Not with me. I'm loyal. That's the type of guy I am. But a lot of people, you know, they're looking for the next biggest thing. But you know, I think I answered your question with you know, we don't lose footing, and I think that shows respect to the talent. Like, hey, we're not gambling on you. They treat us in a way that when they make big decisions, they don't go, oh, hey guys, do you think we should do this? They don't consult us in that way, but they respect us in a way that we are not going to go, oh man, why did they do that? Now we're stuck here. You know, it's like we don't have that worry because we're dealing with people that are smart people.
Yeah, no.
No, the same thing. Get Chef, go home, bro. Go to sleep. Past your bedtime. But I was gonna say, before coronavirus, do you think you guys were going in that same avenue that you're going now?
Oh, they were hot.
Or was it different then that is a year later?
You know, we were hot before the coronavirus. But what the coronavirus did, see, people that are successful, it's almost like if somebody tells you, you know, it's almost like if you have ingredients to cook some sort of meal, right? You're not trying to cook a pizza when you got stuff to cook burgers. You know what I mean? So when we got the ingredients of, hey, this is the landscape, coronavirus, this and that, we didn't flex and freak out and try to run shows and try to do all types of stuff. We ran what we had to run. But what we did is we took a knee and started to get Machiavellian, and we started to plan, and we started to plot, and we started to make deals, because now we have the time, we're afforded the time, right? So, you know, it's just about having the wherewithal. Again, this business, it takes foresight, you know, this is a business. This is a business that a lot of guys that are bodybuilders and sports guys and this are involved in. But there's also this other category of guys that I feel like I fall in. And there's these chess players. And we play chess and we manipulate, which is not a bad word. That's what our business is. We manipulate and exploit situations to benefit the greater good of the company and what we're doing. So I feel like I'm on a pirate ship with like-minded people, and that it's telling me to switch to audio. I don't know. I think I should be okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, just to close that chapter, I feel like I'm on a pirate ship with like-minded people. We're a bunch of fucking crazies, and we all think the same, and we're all out to get ours, and we don't do it in spite of anybody else, and we don't do it at the to hurt anybody else, but we're hungry, and we're nutty, nasty pirates. And there's a bunch of us. I mean, if you look at the guys, there's the Tom Lawlers and the Josef Samael and Jacob Fatu and the Low Keys and just all these people that everybody would think, oh man, we don't want them on our roster, but somehow it works. You know what I mean? It's the land of the misfit toys. You know what I mean? And it works.
Oh, for sure. Now, and it's true, because I do know someone who works in MLW, and I always hear that camaraderie between you guys. And I think that's super fire, because when you're in Florida, you get to know wrestlers, and you hear like kind of like the war stories. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
And they put a smile on us, whatever. When you got somebody, and Lio Rush is another one that kind of came in, and people say, well, what do you get with Lio Rush? And he's been absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
And it comes to me, and we were talking to Kwon, and I was like, yo, Kwon, if you wanted to go at Lio Rush, and his answer was, no, I want Hammerstone. And it feels like that Contra unit gives people that extra, like that confidence. You know what I mean? Like, don't put me in a bubble versus this guy. I know I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And once again, it comes to factors of all the work that you put in, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So my question, because like I said, I'm a big MLW guy. I'm a Contra mark. I'm gonna say it to your face, I'm a Contra mark. No, and a lot of it is you. I'm telling you straight up. But now, when we got El Jefe, this is my question, because I'm stuck, because I deal with so many fans because we do this podcast, and they always want to ask, what do you think about El Jefe versus Josef Samael for you? Is there any kind of, like, not fear, but El Jefe is going to come and try to make his mark? How does Josef Samael target back and say, well, this is my house and I don't care who you are?
I mean, we've taken over MLW. We haven't taken one step back since we started, no, I welcome it. I welcome the challenge. I welcome the, creatively, physically, all of it. I welcome everything. I mean, if I was scared to be in this business of anybody, I wouldn't be in this business as long as I've been. I've been in the ring with Sabu, with Savio Vega, with Masato Tanaka, Earthquake, John Tent. I mean, I've been in the ring with everybody. I've been in the ring with giants and geeks and crazies and nut jobs, and you know what I mean? It's like that's what we do. That's what we do, and I welcome it. Anything that's going to boost ratings, anything that's going to give me a big piece of steak, man, I want to take a bite. You know what I mean? And nothing is going to make us take a single step back, because I know I got me. I know what I bring to the table. I know I got Jacob Fatu on my right. I know I got Mads Kruger. I know I got the whole Contra unit, Simon Gotch, Ikuro Kwon, the Iranian super soldier, Davari. You know what I mean? And many, 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 many more are coming.
All I know is this: if you guys ever go up against the Von Erichs, stay away from the Von Erichs, please.
Why is that? I still gotta stick my spike in one of their heads.
Hey man,
on that barbecue Von Erich. Don't you want to put in Von Erichs in a pit, like one of those pigs in the pit?
Hey man,
stick an apple in his mouth and barbecue that son of a bitch.
The Von Erich game goes back to the 50s. This is legacy going back.
I like to piss on legacies.
Well, 15 years from now, when we're gone, they're still going to be here because there's so many members on that damn family. I need you to stay away from the Von Erichs.
He's upset. He's upset. He's a Von Erichs fan that's upset right now.
Yeah, I don't like. The last time I remember being in the wasn't the last time, but one of the last times I remember being in the ring with the Von Erichs. I had Ross's beard and his hair, and I was pulling from two completely different directions. I don't know what I was trying to do. I was trying to rip something, maybe his beard off, maybe his wig off.
Yeah, he definitely needs to shave though. That don't look good on him.
All right, we'll tell him.
Yeah, please.
I throw a fireball in his face.
Yeah, I remember.
You were talking about that. You were talking about the fireball.
Speaking about fireballs, you are like dead on with that. So the idea of the of you using the fireball, how did that kind of come into your character? I feel like that's like a big part.
So the original Sheik used fireballs, and that's kind of something I started playing with. Maybe around 2006 or 7, something like that. I can't remember the exact year. But Kevin Sullivan is a mentor of mine. I don't know if you know Kevin Sullivan. He's the devil. He feuded with Dusty Rhodes. He's one of the greatest minds in the history of professional wrestling. And Kevin trained me mentally for professional wrestling. Kevin told me all about psychology, ring generalship, pacing, cards, running events, everything. Kevin's taught me more than anybody else has ever taught me in professional wrestling. And Kevin was instrumental in the Fireball as well. And also, not to keep name dropping, but Terry Funk as well. So I come from that real old school deal. Hey man, don't be yawning while I'm talking. What's wrong with you? Am I boring?
And he has the too.
He's up too late, smoking weed all night. Look at this.
Oh no, I'll kill this kid.
Yeah, he's smoking. You're smoking all the weed. Then somebody's smoking.
Even though say.
But I was gonna say, the art of the Fireball, man. Is that something that's like you have to practice that a lot, or
you do. And here's the thing, like there's a way that people did it in the past, and let's just say that I updated it and I do it completely. I don't do it completely different, but I feel like I perfected it. And when I told a very well-known veteran, Jim Cornette, I'll just tell you, he had asked me about how, and he had tried to, protect me in a way to let me know, what could go wrong. And I said, yeah, I was very respectful. And then I threw it. And he said, that was the damnedest Fireball I ever seen in my life. So the old school guys understand when they see it, it is spot on. I did it in a match with Sandman, and he's like, I never even saw it coming, and it's just you have to do it a certain way, and I took that way and I made it better. And no, now you'll see me and I'll throw a dud, but I try to make them as spectacular out of the blue and as dead on as possible.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna go. Chef, you saw that he missed it, man. He messed that up. We jinxed him.
Did you guys happen to see the match with Fatu and L.A. Park when I fireballed the referee?
Oh man,
yeah, that was dope. If you haven't seen that, check that out. That was dope.
Oh yeah, it was.
The flame was like this big.
Dude, when I seen it, I was like, oh my god! Like I've never seen, because usually you'll get like a quick burst.
Yeah.
This one was like a mushroom cloud. I was like, oh, holy sh! Like,
I do it different.
Yeah, my fault. Good, that's your question.
To kind of like keep going with all the things that you happen to do. The idea of body bags.
Mm-hmm.
You have put a few people in well, not you, but like your people put a few people in body bags. Allegedly put people in body bags or taken somewhere. Man,
you're not gonna ask me where we take them, are you?
No. I asked it makes you guys so badass.
I kid.
How did using the body bags become such a key part for you guys? Well,
it's heat. It's and it's going back to what I was saying earlier. It's like, I'm a straight true heel, and MLW has a heel booker, and heat draws money, and it's very strong. It hooks on. It hooks on to a different set of emotions when you watch. Step Brothers or something. I don't know what the kids are watching today, man. I'm an old head.
What are you watching?
When you watch these comedies of
One Piece.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Whenever you're watching these comedies or whatever, it's like, yeah, it's funny, it's goofy. You come back every once in a while, you mimic the parts and this and that. But then when you see a movie like Goodfellas or Cape Fear, or it hooks you, man. It hooks you, and you remember that shit, and you have nightmares about that shit. It gets deep into your head. And I always say like for heat, and I've never heard anybody else say this, but I've told old timers and they really dig it. It's like, I like to make women scared and I like to emasculate men. And I find that when you emasculate a man and you challenge them, you get blowback like nobody's business. And when you scare a woman and legitimately terrify her, she tells everyone, and she takes your heat And she takes it to the barbershop, to the nail salon, to her friend's house, to the bar, and she tells everyone. So I find that being a cerebral heel and doing things that really, really tap onto these emotional strings, it works for longevity. We're trying to connect to the people. We're trying to get people emotionally invested in what we're doing. And you got to make them feel. And every single match can't be pointing at the WrestleMania sign. And every time somebody kicks out, you can't go, oh my God, I don't believe it. All these cliche bullshit things. It's just that. It's cliche, man. I want to, like, if you take a little kid to the pound and you give that little kid a choice of 4 dogs, and all 4 dogs are snow white, and then the 4th one has a big black patch over its eye, they're going to pick the one with the big black patch over its eye. You have to take that mentality to what we do. You have to take that mentality to what we do. It's we have to emotionally connect. We have to be different. We have to make you look without going, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, and being a pain in the ass. You have to make people want to look. You have to make people want to be invested in it. You can't beg for shit, and you can't do stuff to make yourself look like an ass or a joker or a jester, and you end up losing credibility, man. Like, it's cool to have comedy because you see a movie and there's funny parts and there's dramatic parts, and that's what a wrestling show should be. It should have like a smorgasbord of emotions. This way, it's a fast view. You never want somebody to watch your hour show and go, oh my God, when is this going to end? You want them to go, oh shit, it's over already? Damn, when's it next week? You know what I mean? So there's a psychology to this stuff that, it's like it's not taught anymore, and whenever, I mean, I'll still to this day, if I see Jake the Snake Roberts, or if I see Terry Funk, or if I, any of these people, call them on the phone or whatever, I sit down and I listen to these guys to this day, because and I have the wherewithal that if one of them tells me, like, for instance, if you're asking for fashion advice from somebody who's, 60, they might tell you, man, these Skechers shoes are awesome. I have the wherewithal to know that I'm not going to wear those Skechers shoes. I'm not going to disrespect them, but they might tell me, something else, like of some sub shop they go to on the way that's killer.
Yeah.
Like the best subs ever. So I'm like, oh, damn, screw the Skechers, but I'm going to get me that grinder. You know what I mean? And it's like, so you can learn something from everybody. It's having an open mind and figuring out what can fit for you. It's like not turning off and not being absolute, like, I'm not listening to him, I'm only listening to them, I'm only doing that, I'm not doing that. That's how to be an artist, to create, to be to do anything special in this world. You have to have an open mind. You can't just do. That's the thing I hate about wrestling. And again, I'm not trying to shit on anybody. I hate when everybody does the same stuff that everybody else does. It's like skateboarding. Like, oh, we learned an ollie. Oh, now I'm going to try that ollie. Oh, I did a backflip. Oh, now I'm going to try the backflip. It's like, whatever happened to being like, hey, that guy did the backflip that one time. Let me respect that. That's his shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll see girls in, a girl in Arkansas throw a fireball for no reason. And I'm like, why? Why are you doing that? It has nothing to do with you. It didn't make any sense in the spot. It's retard. I can't say that word anymore. It's stupid.
Whoa. Don't get us canceled, please.
Yeah, right. I mean it in the term of it being dumb. I don't mean it.
Yeah.
It is a word, but I don't mean it like that. You guys know. But anyway, no, I can't be canceled. I'm married and I'm my own guy, so it's I can't be canceled. But anyway, yeah, man, it's like context. Being able to for me, I would protect the moonsault, the best moonsault that Jacob does. Like, I would protect that. I wouldn't let anybody else do that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't let anybody else do. Hammerstone is a great example of somebody who has an incredibly unique finishing move. His finishing move, that thing is scary, brother. That is a scary finishing move.
Yes, it is.
If somebody else just did it, if somebody else tried to do it, I'd be super pissed. I'd be like, man, what are you doing? you know, but that's kind of the way the business is today. Nothing's sacred, you know, and I wish it was. I wish people would be called out on stuff like that instead of you know, other things that, you know, but it just it's not.
The Canadian Destroyer by Petey.
Oh man, that
Ugh.
is so
everybody
over.
doing, every male doing it. I'm like, good Lord, man.
And here's the thing: if you teach a newscaster to do it, and then they do a story on you, and the newscaster does it, or you let the referee do it, then anybody can do it. It's not special. Like the fact that it comes out of nowhere, that it's so spectacular, it makes you go, holy shit. Not, whoa, yeah, he can do it too. And so can she, and so can that guy who just never even wrestled a match. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I'm all about being like, look, I've never tried, and I probably never could do a Canadian Destroyer, but I never would even try to do a Canadian Destroyer because I think of Petey Williams. And I just think that's his move. Now, I don't know if he invented it, but he's the one I think of when I see it. And that's his shit, man. I wouldn't do it, you know?
So, and we've chewed your ear off, and I usually ask people at the end if there any advice they can give a wrestler coming in, but I think it's even cooler because you're the first person I can ask. As someone who has their own wrestling promotion, what advice would you give somebody who's trying to build up their, like, from scratch, a wrestling promotion?
Well, I could tell you right now, I could tell you how to make $5 million in a wrestling promotion. Start with 10. It's you know, I would say that if you're going to start a wrestling promotion, make sure you have a lot of experience in professional wrestling, and make sure you have, if you don't have a lot of experience in professional wrestling, having people that have a lot of experience in professional wrestling could be detrimental to your health financially. Because if somebody knows something, they want to get paid for it. And if somebody knows more than you, they're going to steer the money their way the most, you know? So, you know, running a wrestling company is very, very difficult. If you get a chance, look at PCW Ultra at PCWUltra.com. You know, I'd run shows. Rob Van Dam was my champion. Penta was my champion. Johnny Mundo. I've had Stan Hansen there, the Great Muda, Kevin Sullivan, Mang, on and on and on and on. We ran sellout shows, 1,500 people a pop. Yeah, it was jamming, and it was very, very, very difficult. I would say start small. We started in a tiny little spot, and we exploded. And the reason why we exploded was because we had the proper location, the proper building, all the knowledge of my 20 plus years of wrestling. Kevin Sullivan, I had in as a partner with me, his 50 years of wrestling. I had, you know, Terry Funk on speed dial, and you know, and guys that have been there and done that. And you got to understand it's a business, and you have to have a deep knowledge in booking. You have to have a deep knowledge in finances. You have to have a deep knowledge in travel, being a travel agent, being a babysitter, time management. I mean, it's a very, very, very brutal venture. And you know, if the chairs don't show up, you got to figure it out. If the chairs all show up and nobody can move them, you got to move them. If you know, it's brutal, man. You got to break down if everybody decides to leave. You got to set up if they're not there. You know, it's hard. It's hard, and you got to deliver. If I know I've told you a bunch of stuff, but if I could tell you one thing, you can't. Your fans have to trust you. Your fans have to know that they can trust you. You can swerve them. You can move left when they think you're moving right, but don't tell them somebody's going to be there. And then if somebody's going to be there and then they no show you or something, you got to replace them with somebody better. You've always got to over deliver for your fans. If you don't over deliver for your fans, they'll notice it real quick and they'll get resentful. If you over deliver, they'll forgive stuff. You know, and they'll say, "No, man, no, this place is awesome. I've been here before. No, you're not going to talk that smack about it. No, this is my spot." the fans start to become a family when they're treated with respect, and it's little things like having the front front of the building running functionally and fast and efficiently, so nobody's waiting all day. Having that stuff, little things like that you don't think of. Getting those fans in fast so nobody's waiting. Having AC in your building so they're not sweltering. If there's something that they have to buy, making sure they're able to get it. Don't go, oh, you didn't hear that little email buzzard, or you didn't hear this, oh, you missed it. Sorry. No, man. You don't lie to these people. You make sure that they can trust what you're saying, and you do good business. And if you build it like that, they'll come. I've proved it. But you need a lot of experience to do it.
Damn, listen, we got so you're full of wisdom. I could talk to you all day. I wish we could. But no, I want to say thank you. Like I said, I'm a huge Contra fan. This is a cool moment because my son is a huge fan of you. So to be able to do it with him and you is super special. Eve alone said he got nothing but love for you. But on that, ladies and gentlemen, for Josef Samael, for you again, we're
don't forget Hammerstone.
If we were talking to Hammerstone, we talk Hammerstone. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here.